Hi everyone, so today I wanted to show you this new tool that I came across. It's called Marblism, and basically it can allow you to make a full stack app in like minutes, and it's super cool. So you just give it a description and that's like your prompt, same as ChatGPT, and then it'll build something for you. It'll build a full stack app that works for whatever you want. Now, I have tested it out a little bit and I did run into some issues. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But basically, you have this stack that your stuff is made with. So Next.js, Node.js, it's got Postgre, and a bunch of other stuff. It's pretty cool. And here are some of the sample projects that they made using the prompt. Like this one is really cool. I really like this one a lot. Because it's got this map that is like genuinely draggable and you can like click on stuff. So very similar to Airbnb. So this is really cool. I really like how this one turned out. I didn't have the same success when making my own, and that might have been because my prompts aren't as good, but I guess we'll look at that in a second. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so it's super easy. I'll show you first the content map app that I wanted to make, which was, the idea was something similar to Obsidian with like a infinite scrolling canvas where you can just like do concepting and like mind mapping, and it didn't really work as I wanted it to, but it was still pretty fine. So you just go ahead, you do your project description, you pick your project type and you send it. You should probably look at the prompt best practices if you want a better app. I didn't really do that, I just went ahead with it. And then after that, you're actually met with this screen right here where they have the AI suggestion, and you can update the user stories so that they actually match what you want to do. And they have some AI feedback that shows you what they can do and what they cannot do. And that's really nice. You can update your user stories accordingly. Then after that, you get to see your tables, which I didn't really mess with. I just sent those. And then you also get to see the pages as well. And that is really cool. I think you are able to add pages, but that might be a paid feature because I was not able to do that. And then at the very end, you're greeted with this page and you can just deploy it right away. You can also see your code on the online editor, which is really cool. But the coolest thing is you can just put your GitHub username in there and it'll actually invite you to the private repo, and then you can clone it. So the code is all yours, and then you can go ahead and modify that however you want. Alright, so this isn't actually the concepting one that I made. It's a very similar one, but it's a different one. And I wanted to show you guys how this one ended up, because it actually ended up being the best one that I was able to make. So it has notifications, and you're going to see these later too. They work as intended. And then I have this workspace where I have these containers, and I did ask them to make them draggable. Like I wanted to be able to drag these because I was picturing something like Milanote. I can't drag these. I could ask the AI to fix them, but like you see it says container position updated. It's not updating. I can view the details though, and then I can edit these as well if I want. I can't edit them right here, which is something I'd like, but I can click here and go edit container, and then I can change some stuff. Now, obviously you'll see this is not very intuitive. Like I don't think anyone would actually, want to change the height and the width this way. I don't even know if it actually works. Let's see. It does work, I think. This definitely seems like it got larger. The width didn't really change though. You'll notice it isn't perfect at all, but it does have things that are very useful. I like the notifications, they seem to work. I like the icons that they use, and the nav bar is pretty decent, and I also think the profile page is pretty decent. It's just the other functionality is not there for me, and I guess the applications that I want to make are much more complex than what this AI can make. So it's probably not something I'm going to be using a lot, but I can definitely see some use case for it if you want to build stuff like the Swim BNB, right? For example, if you get all of the code for these, like these cards are pretty nice, and you can then modify it to use however many APIs you want and whatever. But I would say that it's definitely something that can be improved upon, because even though it's really cool, it's definitely missing some things. And I'll show you the other project that I made, because that one actually had some major issues. So we'll look at that right now. So I went ahead and I made a much more specific prompt. It might be too specific. I'm still honestly not really sure what I'm looking for, so I don't expect the AI to know what I'm looking for. But I guess we're going to give it a try and see if it builds something more interesting than the one that I just built. And I will update you guys when it is done. Alright, so it's made my long user stories into shorter ones, of course, with the AI. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. It has almost everything that I would want. So let's click next and see what it does. I'm also sure that if you really know what you're doing, you can go into here and just change all of these tables, and it will actually have a tangible difference on how the pages get made. I'm just not sure what I want because I have no clear vision, so I'm just creating projects for creating projects because I think they're cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click next, and when it brings up like the pages as well, I'm probably just gonna click next and see what it comes up with. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys what happens when I try making this virtual gym app. And let me preface this by I haven't tried enough, and I probably should try making more apps to see if it's my fault and that my prompts are not good enough, or if it really is just an issue with the software. But the point is, I try to make this one and it looks really nice over here. It really does. And I like the calendar and everything, and it sends me, oh, I want to add a workout? Yeah, for sure. But when I go here and I try to add an exercise, I get an unhandled exception. And I'm sure this is something that if I go look into this page.tsx, I could fix. It's just, I'm not a huge fan of that because ideally I would want most exceptions handled, and then I can go and use the boilerplate to keep building on it and integrate my APIs and everything, right? So it's just something that you should think twice about. It seems really cool. I would say definitely work on building your prompts and make them as good as possible, and then like stuff like this is really cool. This already has a nice look to it. It just doesn't really work yet, and if you're expecting it to just come right out the box with software that you can just launch, that's just not going to be the case, right? You're going to go and have to put a lot of work in, but the boilerplate is there for you, and you have a nice calendar and it redirects you as it should. So it's got a lot of nice features. It's just obviously not complete, and that is something you should consider before buying the marbles that just let you make more and more apps, right? Alright, so that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it and thought that it was useful, then please consider subscribing and leaving a like or a comment, and I will try to keep posting stuff on interesting AI software that I find or that I come across. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep updated. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys the next time.